I'm Jade DeMaggd and I painted this. I decided to draw this because mental health is something that's really important for me, especially since I struggle with my mental health, and painting and drawing and just art in general is something that really helps me cope and express my emotions. I originally came up with the idea of doing this in my successful living class when we were learning about mental health and mental illnesses. I kind of came up with this in the class by kind of just doodling on my paper, as bad as that sounds, because it's just kind of like how I felt, kind of like wanted to get rid of some of the anxiety of learning about this stuff. A lot of people might look at this, and especially letters, and say that it's not uniform. The letters aren't the same size, the color's uneven, or the border is also uneven, but I did it for a purpose. It conveys a message that even though it's not perfect, it still matters the same. It still has the same message, and to me that kind of represents people. We look different, we act different, we like different things, but it doesn't make us less valuable. It's not really easy to see, but on the gray in the clouds in green lettering there's words that come from our classmates about how they feel when they're struggling with their mental health. It was really important for me to get those because it makes it more personalized to other people so that they understand that they really aren't alone in their fight, and I thought that it was just something to be known and really cool, so it's kind of like we all in a way contributed to it. And outside of the clouds is kind of like a peachy backdrop, but there's lots of shapes, and the peachy backdrop kind of represents the happiness in the world and the things that are good, but there's lots of shapes around it. And the shapes are kind of random and a little bit confusing, and that also for me represents the real world because we don't really know what's going on. So on the actual face and the eyes, it's crying, and those tears kind of match the colors of the shapes, but the tears say like serotonin and dopamine and love and happiness. It's kind of things that are just falling out of us, that are being drained from our bodies as we're kind of being taken over by this negativity and the sadness of pressures of the world and ourselves. Really, there's only one thing that I want to get out of this painting, and that's just to help one person, to make it feel like they're not alone, because I understand the way that it feels to be in this dark place where it's so lonely and it's so heavy. And even if just one person understands that they're not alone and makes it feel like they're not fighting alone, it'd honestly make my day. I don't want anything else from it, just to help one person.